people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun diary politico. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not day of in mind. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he dey hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Mayegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Mayegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you.
Hello there.
Mayegun la wa mo la mo dododo. Mayegun diary.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Mayegun ti de o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Mayegun diary. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Thank you so much for joining me. Share this broadcast. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Mayegun today with another one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary. Bó bá ṣe àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary.
Thank you.
Mayegun diary politico. Godfather.
Thank you so much. Share this broadcast, like it, and then subscribe. Yes, share the broadcast. We are starting in a minute.
Mayegun lawamo dododo.
The gloves are off.
Ani esunraki. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú esunraki.
Mayegun ti dé. Thank you.
Lórí Facebook. Ani esunraki.
People do. Thank you so much for joining me. And let's get started, fully. You know who Shettima is? That is a Boko Haram sponsor, Boko Haram financier. It is not hidden in the political circle. He is dreaded for those who don't really know him so much. And the reason why is on the ticket with Kolu is because they believe is the only way they can appeal to the Islamic extremists in northern Nigeria to trust Kolu, that they can trust him. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, on the side, this is also backfiring. As much as they will tell you that they are comfortable and not really afraid, but they have become people who have been accusing others of the same thing they are doing, something they started and still doing. Attacking people, talking down on people, talking condescendingly on their other opponents and all that, threatening people. We have seen physical attack on the people who are opposition to APC. They started this religious problem, religious politics, something that they used to hide behind the curtains. They are not, they are no longer afraid. So they put Nigeria on the precipice or on the road to perdition, the road to religious explosion. Sorry, is there anything like that? Religious war, the explosion of a religious war through politics. They started it. But guess what? They are not just playing that. I'll tell you something. They said that after they picked Shettima, well, after Tinubu picked Shettima, it sent cold chill down the spines of majority of the political elites, including the Islamic fanatics up north. You know why? In northern Nigeria, when you hear about Boko Haram, those fanatics and all that, those who control the armed struggle, the jihadist arm of Boko Haram that you see, they are known to be majorly populated by Kanuris. In northern Nigeria, you have Hausas, you have, hang on, I'll show you the map. So they generally believe that the Kanuris are those who populate the Boko Haram terrorists in northern Nigeria. So when Boko Haram came and they, empowered the Fulani terrorists to start acting, right? It was easier for somebody like a Shettima, who kind of belonged to the people that other people in northern Nigeria, as much as they are all Muslims, as I'm talking about in their clan now, they are still afraid of him. They believe that he is the founder of Boko Haram in Nigeria. There is a man called Alimodu Sheriff. It was Alimodu Sheriff, right, that gave job, appointment to the leader of the young Islamic squad. Then they call it Al-Jamaatul Islamiyah something. So they used them for political review in that same Borno state. Yeah. And guess who facilitated that? Shettima. So when Alimodu Sheriff when they were done with the leader of the Boko Haram, who later became Boko Haram, you know what they did? They killed him. They tied his hands to his back. They tied his legs and they shot him several times. And in their report, they said he was trying to escape. How could somebody they tied his hand and legs try to escape? It was because they said the guy was now going out of control. Control of who? Shettima. So with that, the Boko Haram menace and all that, right, just left the hand of the Borno state government. And, being the founder and those who have reached contact with them, he remained in that same Borno state government for a while. But you know what happened after? An opportunity presented itself. His party had a candidate that was supposed to be the governorship candidate of his state. Election was like about maybe 4 or 5 weeks to election. The guy got killed. And guess what happened? Shettima became the candidate. Till tomorrow, majority of them in Borno politics are still unable to define how that happened. And you know what happened afterward? That was when Boko Haram went mad, rogue in Nigeria. It was then they staged the Chibok kidnapping. Remember him? It was him. It was him they told that security reports said the Boko Haram terrorists were planning to kidnap school children. Therefore, all the school children in Borno states, right, they should go home. They shouldn't worry about sitting for the WAEC that time until a proper arrangement is made. So they now made an arrangement that all of the school children in Borno state should go to the state capital. Not all the school children, rather. All of the school children who are sitting for WAEC should go to the state capital and sit for their WAEC. You know what happened? Shettima wrote Chibok School and told them that they shouldn't worry. They should return these children back to the dormitory, to the school. 2 days after returning the children back to the school. Meanwhile, in Abuja, they believe that they've given a directive that the school children are back home with their parents. Until the news broke, 270 school children girls have been kidnapped in Chibok. No, that's impossible. The children are not in school. How could they have been kidnapped? When they phoned them in Borno, I'm giving you this vivid account of this terrorist too. When they phoned them back in Borno, that is it true that school children were kidnapped? They said no. What happened is that the terrorists attacked Chibok. And in that process, right, school children were running about, but they have recovered them. There was no kidnapping. Do you know something? It was about 4 days later. Shettima started crying on camera. He started crying. They've taken all our girls and all of that. And on that, the propaganda of 2015 was built on. They used the life of their children to play the politics that eventually gave them power. But if you remember Shettima, he said, the person they really wanted was not Buhari. It was Kwakwanso. He said it. Remember? Now, when they staged that and milked that, they still didn't get what they wanted. I believe. So when they made Shettima the vice president to, what do you call it, to Tinubu, when Tinubu picked him, it was a way of trying to say, listen, Bokwari has failed everybody. It didn't let us probably do all we wanted to do. But the power is going back to southern Nigeria. This is a sick man that need our help. And we also need him to maintain that leverage until we get what we wanted. God knows what they want, by the way. And I bet whatever they want is bloody, not beneficial to you. So this shitty man, when he speaks, you see darkness. You know what I mean? Something so shady around him. And when he speaks, then you probably will lose it completely and say, what? So they met 2 days or so ago in Abuja. And they were talking, as usual, political talk. You know, the campaigns are currently over. So they are supposed to be having consultations now, Abi. So what happened? He was addressing his local government representatives and all of the APC, Egbekegbe in Abuja. And this time around, he was talking about Obio Atiku. Atiku, that report said, somehow, is making some huge inroad in northern Nigeria, that some of them are, they are in northern Nigeria, the usual, voting bloc that APC will probably rely on is being depleted by Atiku. So he turned on him. He said, listen, some of you here, you are tilting towards Atiku. Well, how could you support somebody who told you to stop calling him Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, but instead you should be calling him Atiku Abubakar? Somebody that walked and proudly saying in public that he rejected or he opposed the imposition of Sharia on Nigeria. Did you hear that? So there was a plot to make that Sharia that Obasanjo allowed them to have in northern Nigeria. So the plan was to actually make it the entire Nigeria Sharia. How is that going to build unity? This religious supremacy, tribal supremacy, ethnic supremacy, and every other supremacy that these guys are pushing. How does that, for any reason, bring unity? Same people will be preaching unity. We need to live together. How do you live together when people behind the scene are using the state power to enforce their own religious belief or some other shady ideological beliefs? So he was talking to them in quotes. Let me see where I saw that. Yeah, he said, this person you call your own says you should not call him Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Rather, you should call him Atiku Abubakar. Your person says he is the only person that fights against Sharia in the north. Is that person your person? Then he went on and said, to become the president of Nigeria is not by issuing threats, blackmail, lies, violence, threats, and all that. Hello. Since you have been following because this is Mayegun's diary political, okay? The diary that keeps everyday political activities of the rogues in charge of Nigeria, so that I can possibly be the answer to the famous question among so many of you who are actually like accomplices in everything that is happening in that Nigeria too. So I am the diary. This place is the diary where you can get to know that that famous question, how did we get here, can be answered on Mayegun's diary political. Clean clear. You know what he said? He was talking about threatening people. He was talking about lying. He was talking about blackmailing. He was talking about people using religion to religious division to want to gain power. And he further said, that the Igbos in Nigeria, that there are good Igbos in Nigeria, that if you want to be president of Nigeria, you have to build bridges. That look at Rocha Sokorocha. He speaks Hausa fluently. He has integrated. He's a one Nigerian and all of that stuff. Not that Obi that is lying about everything. Who is lying more? The people that are currently making your life hell, and they are not taking responsibility. They are pointing fingers. With what Nigeria become today, let's be honest. Should anybody even have any kind of courage to stand before any of you and say they are campaigning for APC to continue? Let's even be honest. But that's it. It's called gaslighting. They are the people who choose Muslim tickets, right? They are those who said that how many are the Christians? Do you know how many wives and how many children an average Muslim have? They are talking about a lot of things that is all about. Now it got to a stage that when the Christians now feels like, then we are not part of this. In protest, they now want to turn it against them by making themselves the victim. Look at them, they don't like us. Simply because we are Muslims. Can you believe that? We are just Muslims, so that's why they don't like us. Hello? Have you actually forgotten that APC, Egbekegbe, is in power in Nigeria right now? Mayegun, what I'm saying is that Peter Obi that cannot secure Eastern Nigeria. How can he say he can secure Nigeria? I said, APC, Egbekegbe opened their mouth. Listen to this. In Nigeria, APC, Egbekegbe opened their mouth and they said that Peter Obi cannot protect Eastern Nigeria. And he said he wants to protect Nigeria. Hello? Whose job is it to protect Nigerians? Somebody who wants to contest for office? Or the people in government that are running for office again in order to be retained? And guess what? There are so many ignorant wearies that are also repeating that. He cannot campaign in Eastern Nigeria. He cannot campaign in Anambra on Monday. Whose fault is it if people cannot open their shops in Eastern Nigeria on Monday? Whose fault should that be? Whose responsibility should keep them safe or protect them or any other thing? Whose job is it? Okay. The surprise and the hypocrisy here is this, right? You can say all you want to say, but when people in government, people who sworn to protect you, people who sworn to give you better economy, people who sworn, listen, to improve your education, your healthcare, improve your infrastructure, give you jobs. The same people locked your schools for 8 months, but they are saying that the lecturers are the greedy ones, not us. The same people who have not built, not to talk of a repair, no, they have not, they haven't been able to repair one single refinery to work at 100% capacity in Nigeria in 8 years. Not to talk of building one. They promised to build one refinery every year, which means by now they should have delivered 8 brand new refineries to you. But they haven't. Guess what? They are pointing fingers at the same people they are paying subsidy to. Not them, but other people. But the same people talking about security, I have never heard them say Atiku that cannot protect northern Nigeria says he wants to protect Nigeria. I have never heard them say that. Now, you can say that, but what somebody in government, in government, blaming people, not in government, the people that control the military, control the police, control the DSS, control your NIA, control all this, yeah? They turn around and say, that person, look at that person. Look at this one that cannot provide security for. So, it is the job of those who are running for office to provide security. Go and buy guns. Go and train soldiers. Go and arrest and prosecute terrorists. Is that their job? I know it's hypocrisy, I'm just saying. So, that's exactly what Shettima was doing. He said, if you want to be president of Nigeria as an Igbo man, to show that you have built bridges, you must be able to speak Hausa. You must be able to speak the language in the north. Okay. Okorocha speaks Hausa. Do you remember when Okorocha was reading Al-Qurani on during the APC Congress? I'm going to go and look for that video. I'm going to look for it and show you. Okorocha was speaking Hausa, was speaking Arabic, was doing all of that. At the end of the whole convention, now 0 voting gets. I don't know if the candidates are not allowed to vote for themselves. That's a former governor of a state. Now 0 votes. So they now turned around and said, for you to be the president of Nigeria, you must build bridges with the north. Sure you get. About who they build bridges? Who be the Julius Baja where they build one? It be like say Kolu has managed to give them what they want. Now this is what I'm saying. The same way, is gaslighting Peter Obi with religion, with tribal what have you, is the same way is also by gaslighting Atiku. But they will turn around and tell you, if you say Boko Haram has failed, they will say, why do you hate Nigeria so much? Say, Buhari has failed now, APC has failed now. But I mean, yeah, okay, fine. Let's agree that APC has failed. But I don't like the way you are saying it. You are saying it with anger. It's like you hate Buhari. And I'm like, okay. Whether I love Buhari or I hate Buhari, how does that make him a failure? I mean, how does that contribute to his failure? I'm just saying that, we all know that the government has failed. Okay, if we all know that the government has failed, why are we arguing? What exactly is your point? My point is that let us just respect elders. Sometimes we all don't know why some things happen. They know better. Baba she en shire ni. Abe woju mi dada na she ya were ni. Ewo ni gbogbo reverse psychology. Reverse psychology is when they will tell you, I agree with you, they failed. Then there shouldn't be any further conversation on it. There shouldn't be any other but. But what I'm saying is that you should not disrespect them. Lives have been lost, jobs have been lost, livelihood have been lost, relationship have been lost, country have divided. You are witnessing all of that, and you're saying that because people don't like Buhari, that's your own problem. My own problem is that people always want to blame Buhari for everything. If they cannot sleep with their wife, they will blame Buhari. If they cannot feed their 10 children, they will blame Buhari. But and because you know something, the same politicians, they say the same thing. So they blank you out, gaslight one another, set the stage for tribal war, religious war, because in the rubble of that chaos, rises their bloody power. You have about how many days now? You have 10 days. Oh, no, sorry, you have 12 days or thereabouts. If they don't postpone your election, you have 12 days to kickstart whatever anger is in all of you, to kickstart them. Are you with me? 12 days. Central Bank of Nigeria that decided to change Nigeria currency. They no get money or they no get paper. They no get paper to print more money. They have no paper to print more 500 Naira note, 1,000 Naira note, which means when, as they say, aluta continua, this particular one, scarcity continua, and they are saying that without any shame. Guess what? Meanwhile, all of these are politics. The politics of let's blow it up. They had a plan of changing money. They know how much of money is in circulation. They want to withdraw the ones in circulation, replace them with the new ones. Abi? This is a process that has to do with numbers. Abi? Now, within the space of 100 days, or they have succeeded in putting in that same economy, they withdrew over 80% of your money. Now, they have withdrawn over 80%. According to Emefiole, old notes, you only have partly 20% of it in your circulation, except the ones in the vault of your politicians. But Emefiole has only released just a partly 30% capacity into that. And with that 30% of that money, you see the gap, almost 50% gap. That is the one they said they can no longer fill up now to meet anything anymore. Now the battery is old notes, new notes. The confusion continues, and APC, they are still campaigning. Remember I told you that they are all still they are dancing around the chair now. Dancing around the chair. The chair, the statue is Bokwari. They are blaming everybody around. They are secretary to the government of Nigeria, which happened to be the cousin to the official Ogbojule grass cutter, Babashir Lawal. His own cousin called, what's his name again? Boss Mustafa. Boss Mustafa just came out to also condemn Emefiole. Emefiole should listen to the voice of reason. More APC, Egbekegbe state governors, have also joined the current 4 governors that are suing government of Nigeria. Listen to this drama. Your scarcity continues, fuel scarcity continues, Naira scarcity continues, leadership scarcity continues. But here is the point. The, what do you call it? 4 governors of APC that sued Federal Government of Nigeria. They did not sue Central Bank of Nigeria. Are you with me? They said they are suing the Federal Government of Nigeria to reverse and extend, to extend the deadline. But the Central Bank, that makes that decision, they are not included in that suit. So here is what they are doing. If they include the Central Bank in their case, Supreme Court is just going to throw it out, because Supreme Court knows that no court can give any order or directive to the Central Bank in executing their policy. Nobody. It's just what it is. Except an executive order that can say, withdraw it. That's a Bokwari. Now, what they are doing is that if they try that, the case will die in 2 days' time. But by their own crooked Supreme Court that they have, they are suing federal government. Who is federal government? Is that not Bokwari? And who? Malamu, Abi? So before you know it, the confusion will continue. And that's why I said that it's going to be scarcity continua or confusion continua. These guys are a bunch of criminals. And it seems this is going to be the week they are going to stop dancing around that chair. Okay? They're not going to be like throwing a Emefiole here and then dancing around Bokwari. They are about to attack Bokwari. I told you if the desperation gets to that stage, I'll tell you. It has gotten to that stage now. Hell Rufaya has released a damning, interview that he granted. And guess what? Still dancing around the chair, but is bold enough to actually be specific enough that he is still coming for Bokwari. In his interview, recent one, you'll see it is flying about now. Once I lay my hand on the copy of it, I'll share that with you. In that printed copy, he said those around Bokwari, they are the enemies of Nigeria. And the sabotaging of Asiwaju Tinubu is not just Tinubu they are sabotaging. In fact, they are walking around executing what they call the interim national government. This is El Rufai Obonlayao is going to amplify that in the next few days as you get closer and closer to your election, right? It's already raising the red. I mean, it's already raising the, blowing the dog whistle too. The dog whistle is that they will begin to name it. And if nothing changes, they're going to eventually come for Bokwari. They will attack him seriously. Femi Kayode is in the detention of the Daura Secret Service as we speak. SS. These are internal wahala that you should be aware of as well. They're going to explode soon. Femi Kayode of Food Kayode went on Twitter, started tweeting about Atiku meeting the Nigerian military and that they are plotting to stage a coup just in case if Tinubu is leading in the election. That they will not allow them to do the same thing they did to MKO Abiola. Now, the military responded and said, that never happened. And they would like him to be arrested and questioned. So they woke up this morning and said, okay, I received a text message yesterday from a number that said it's a DSS. But I just ignored it because it could just be anybody random. Until this morning when I discovered that it's not a random number. So I have decided I will go and see them. I am not afraid. I'm not afraid of detention. I'm not afraid of arrest. I've been, somebody where they say, when you are like crying for help, I don't know what they go do me or what thing me low. They don't they carry me, they go. But I just want you to know I'm not scared, dude. This is not my first time, but this time I don't know what they're going to do to me. So I don't know if they released him. You can tell me if you are up to date. If they have released him, that will be this evening, right now. But for this conversation, right, is being held by the Daura Secret Service. They are asking him to give them the evidence of where they met with Atiku. Those who met with Atiku, okay, to give them the evidence. Now, in the day now, they never finish with them. Meanwhile, Kalu himself, the Bulaba Bala Blue, that is going to be the remaining, the replacing relic, was also in Gombe today. The other side of that Gombe view, I want to Gombe. The reason is this: Shettima and his gang, in most of the time, it as their desperation, sort of widens or sort of deepens, there will be so much to scoop from that. Next, this is so crucial. Pay attention. Now, let's go to that Gombe. A quick one. That's when he landed, and I think after that, he went straight to the palace of Onigombe of Gombe. That's like the emir of Gombe. So in Yoruba, you call him Onigombe of Gombe. Now let's go in there and listen to what the conversation was like. I don't think there was much conversation other than prayer or something. Anyway, but let's take a look.
كما باركت على إبراهيم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
Amen. So I'll take you to another scene, which some said is outside the venue, which is outside the palace, or we should just go to their venue, because I want you to listen to what Kolu had to say in Gombe. Mm-hmm. As it's a pandemic, although he was there as he's not a big man, so he was there to pray for Kolu, also in Gombe, just on the side that
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ina wakiltar mai girman shugaban kasa Muhammadu Buhari, shugaban kasar Federal Republic of Nigeria. Shugaban kasa da kansa ya yi shawar a ce zuwa Gombe da shi aka yi, kuma ni ya yi magana da shi na ne kamar sani ko hakan zuwa Gombe. Amma da aka sake shi zuwa Gombe Allah ta'ala bai ba shi ikon zuwa ba. Kuma da kuma na farko da Islam da sako ne na rigima shugaban kasa bayan sarki kuma zan tsara kalma ɗaya zuwa biyu a matsayin na jihar Gombe. Dukkan abin da yake alheri wa jihar Gombe ya dace a gani a farko a gaban wajen tabbatar da shi. Dukkan abin da ke sharri a Gombe a matsayin na zan tsara ya dace a wuce gaba wajen tuɗe wa jihar Adamawa matsayin. Sako da Allah na mai girma shugaban kasa shi ne na isar da gaisuwa ta zuwa gare ku gaba daya da kuma fatan alheri na uku da tunatar da mu a kan
Sorry if you probably don't understand what he said. He was praying, Kasa, and all of that stuff, like prayer. So there were also the Igbo community in Gombe. They were also on ground too. They were captured on ground.
Thank you so much.
The women. Well, let's go listen to Kolu himself. What did he tell them in Borono? Let's start with this one.
Jagaba shi ma ya ce ko yanzu. Shi ma ya ce ko yanzu. Bismillah, Jagaba.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum, Jawad. May the blessing of Allah continue to be with you, the people of Gombe, all members of our party, Your Excellency, our governor, our governor, our governor, our governor, our governor, I salute, I pay my respect to our national chairman, Senator Abdullahi. I salute and respect all the governors here present. I salute my Vice President, running mate, inshallah, who will be Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I salute all the national leaders of our party. Salute the Director General of our campaign, Governor Lalo. Today, all of you, who is your governor? Inua is your governor. You vote for him again. You vote for him again. You vote for him again. Say Inua. Say I want to say to you that progress is arrived here now. Prosperity is here now. Development is
I know some of you are laughing. Oh, you are watching an elderly abuse. You know, in this life, you have child abuse. You have a spousal abuse. You have a domestic abuse. You have is there anything called workplace abuse? I don't know. But elderly abuse is also common. Usually, they don't do them publicly. They are sort of sad reports that comes from old people's homes, where carers, they maltreat elderly people in the care home. What the Tinubu family are doing to him and all other greedy people who are eyeing different juicy position to milk and loot and further destroy Nigeria, what they are doing to Tinubu is called elderly abuse. They are abusing him. They know he's not well. They know he cannot string a single statement successfully anymore. They know that he has become incoherent. But they are pushing. They are pushing. And look at us. Many of you are laughing. A lot of you are asking, when is he going to say broom, 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 just to laugh? But the new one is I salute. I salute. He hasn't started throwing the salute yet. But I bet that if time permits him, one day you will be saying, I will salute, I salute. Elderly abuse. You can laugh, you can see whatever. Some are saying that whatever you like, that's your next president. No, that is your next president. You say that's your next president. Me, it's never going to be my own president. Bokwari is never my president. Bokwari is just my own sort of content reference, you know, when I'm doing my teachings. And I want to tell you how humanity, the humanity's sort of humanity's crime against humanity, the humanity cruelty against humanity. If I want to give you textbook definition of evil, devil, heartless, cold-hearted, and all those kind of things, criminals that are real, not fictional. That's what all your politicians are. It's so unfortunate that I have to also use you, their victims, as reference too. He's never going to be my president. He's just going to be my own content creator, you know? It's just going to be my own content source, a gold mine. Whether you like it or not, it's going to be a me. So, okay. He will never be my president, ever. But good luck. Good luck to you. Chibi Bokwari is your president, Abi. How far with that? How far are you doing with that? Again, good luck to you. I'm just saying, you know. But that is called elderly abuse. If anybody do that to my papa, it go cause family war. Forget it. Which power? Which nonsense power? They made sure that we never debate. Do you know that it's never going to debate anything? This is the first time you are never going to have any presidential debate with those who are contesting to be your president, because Kolu can't. He can't have a conversation. No joke. If you start talking, I will start looking at you and say, well, where is this one? Sir, this is Ogodomi Godo of Kewu land, sir. Where is Ogodomi Godo? You have to, you know, if you don't exist to him, you don't exist. He can talk down on you and, you know, because he sees himself as what? You know it. Let's go back there. It's elderly abuse, oh. So if you are laughing, make it ask for forgiveness. Or astagfirullah, 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 in all gafuru royim.